the two of them. Oh, there's contact. There's contact. And there's contact between Cheryl Powell and Campbell Pilling.
Now that was a
Our senior drivers, the DRS125s rather, are on the circuit for their qualifying session. Championship leader is Oliver Owen, the number 5. Second in the championship is Mark Lawrence, with Jack Rigg third in the championship standings. Got some extra drivers here this weekend as well, which is good to see. So early stages again. In fact, we've still got two or three drivers on the dummy grid, just deciding not to come out onto the circuit just yet. Maybe seeing it as a strategy. In some of the earlier sessions. Let's see who the early pace setters are. So Ben Gartside's done the quickest outlap. Don't read too much into that because it doesn't generally tell us an awful lot. So the first of the lap 2s. This will give us a better indication. So fastest second lap so far, Tommy Welsh, 47 flat for Tommy Welsh, the 3:19. Cody Eustace second fastest. Oliver Owen, championship leader, third fastest, some 3/10 slower. Don't read too much into it. The circuit will come towards the drivers. The conditions will improve, the times will drop. Question is usually, are the drivers that are not out there on circuit giving themselves enough time? So I know that one of them is Tom Snape. I can just see the number 4, the green helmet of Tom Snape in the dummy grid, on the dummy grid. He's just about to leave now. So we've got another couple as well. So we've also got the number 7 of Mark Lawrence. So Snape and Lawrence have just entered the fold, as has the 298 of Carl Watt. So now we'll get a better indication of who's doing what. We'll also get a good indication of what the circuit's doing, because based on when the fastest lap is made, and if it's made towards the end of the session, have those drivers that have just given themselves 3 less laps than everybody else, have they given themselves enough time to do what they need to do? So we'll keep an eye on the 3 that have just joined in. So Snape, Lawrence and Watt. So 12 of these DRS125 karts out on circuit at the moment. The fastest is Anthony Amato. So we didn't see Amato at Clay Pigeon, but he's certainly stamping his authority on the early stages of this session. He's the fastest, 46.2 fastest lap. Tommy Welsh is second fastest. And then comes Gartside. So Gartside now up into second, displaces Welsh, who also has Oliver Owen bump him down to 4th place. JJ McGee makes 1 place up into 7th. And Kurt Fordry is down to 8th. Here comes Firas Bilbezi, so the 13th of the DRS 125 drivers. He's now on circuit. The DRS plate holder won the one-off DRS title earlier on this year at Rissington. So Anthony Amato, the 317, fastest of the DRS125 drivers at the moment. Ben Gartside just behind him. Well, I say just behind him, he's half a second behind him in terms of fastest lap. Tom Snape goes up into third. Cody Eustace then displaces him, so Snape's second lap was good enough for fourth fastest. So keep an eye on the number 4 of Tom Snape as they all stream through Christmas Corner at the top of the circuit. Amato round again, so he did his fastest lap on lap 5. He's just dropped off the pace in the last couple of laps. So Amato fastest, Gartside second, Snape third, Cody Eustace fourth, Oliver Owen is 5th fastest, Tommy Welsh 6th, Jack Rigg won't be happy at all, I'm sure, with 7th fastest at the moment. Neither will Mark Lawrence in 8th. Kurt Fordry is 9th, JJ McGinn drops to 10th, and Carl Watt, Firas Bilbezi and Roberto Moroni are the remaining drivers circling this Whilton Mill circuit. And Bilbezi goes third, so second lap for Bilbezi, straight up into third place. Now, where is he in terms of time? So he's now some 3/10 slower than Amato. So Snape has gone faster as well. And here come the runners then. Here come the drivers who are late to this session. Snape, Bilbezi, as Owen goes up to 4th. They're now just within 2/10 of Anthony Amato. So Amato is holding on to the fastest lap here, but only by the skin of his teeth, really. So Amato completes another lap. What's he done this time? 46.1. So he's only 2/10 slower than his fastest, so he's still circulating at a pace that would suggest he's got something left up his sleeve if he needs it. We've got 2.5 minutes to go here, so it's getting towards the business end of this session. Snape second, Eustace third, Bilbezi 4th, Oliver Owen is 5th. I'm just intrigued to see now how Firas Bilbezi manages these remaining laps. He's only completed 4 laps. The rest of the drivers out there have generally done, well, the first runners have done 9. The second batch have done 6. Bilbezi's only done 4. Now, if he does his fastest lap on the last lap, he left his entry to this session too late. But let's see who improves as the session goes on. Cody Eustace just does his personal best, 46 flat for Cody Eustace, a 3:14. So Amato, Snape, Eustace, Bilbezi, Owen. Ben Gartside's got a track limits warning. Jack Rigg 7th, Tommy Welsh 8th. How are they lapping? They're lapping about half a second. So it's half a second that's covering the first 8 here in terms of time. Amato still holds the top prize. He holds the fastest lap. Tom Snape on screen at the moment. He did his fastest lap on lap 4. Tommy Welsh just moved up 3 places to 5th. Track limits warning for JJ McGinn as well. So there is your second fastest driver out there at the moment. 5th in the championship. Won't be the start to the season that he would have hoped for, that's for sure. Certainly expected Tom Snape to be up amongst the front runners. He was last year. But he's running out of time here if he wants to find a way to the top spot of qualifying, because Anthony Amato is the driver who holds that. And he's still circling just around about the same pace, 46 flat last time round for Amato. Snape just over a tenth of a second slower in second. Eustace, Bill Basie hasn't gone any faster since his second lap, so maybe he did have it right in terms of setup. Amato, Snape, Eustace then third, Bill Basie fourth, Welsh fifth, Oliver Owen is sixth, the championship leader, Ben Gartside seventh, Rigg 8th, Lawrence 9th, Watt 10th, McGinn is 11th. Bill Basie looks like he's backed out of it. He's done a minute last time round. They're all backed off it now. Another interesting point to pick up, I suppose, with drivers from a strategy perspective. Did Firaz Bill Basie set up for the session? And if he did 7 laps on the tyres. He actually only needed 2. His fastest lap came on the second lap. So some interesting changes of strategy, different approaches to it. But unless Cody Eustace, who is just about to come round now, can go any faster, and they don't. First, Bill Basie's gone through as well. The fastest lap of the qualifying session then belongs to Anthony Amato. So the number 317 with a 45.901. He was the only driver to duck under the 45-second barrier. And he is the fastest of all the DRS125 drivers. Tom Snape, second fastest. Cody Eustace, third. Firaz Bill Basie came home fourth fastest. And Tommy Welsh, Oliver Owen, Ben Gartside, Jack Rigg, Mark Lawrence and Carl Watt with the remainder of the top 10 as the cars stream into Parc Fermé for their post-qualifying scrutineering checks. And that leads us very nicely into our first race of the day. So Group A of the DRS 100s, the session that saw Tristan Powell be the fastest of those drivers. They will do 8 minutes plus a lap. And our first heat of the day, scheduled for just around about 6 or 7 minutes. So good to see a healthy grid of DRS125 drivers. 13 of them with us this weekend for round 2 of the Daniel Ricciardo Series here at Whilton Mill. And they're led by a new driver to the series, the Club 100 winner from last year, Anthony Amato. He's gone straight out and put it on pole position. And that's where he will be. So in terms of the championship, Oliver Owen was the race winner, the grand final winner at Clay Pigeon 3 weeks ago. Very different conditions to those that we have with us this weekend. Although it has got a little bit overcast in the last half an hour or so. Track temperature not quite where it was around about 1 o'clock. And all these little things do make a difference. They change the dynamic of the racetrack. They change how it reacts to different driving styles, different setups. But our senior drivers are on their way around to get us underway. It's our last heat of the day before we break for lunch. Lunch break is until around about 2:20, where we'll see the first of the pre-finals. We have a pre-final for all of the classes here this weekend, and then we're into the grand finals today. The first of the grand finals is at 4 o'clock. We expect our first of the grand finals. That's the one for the DRS62s. They're our first grand final of the day at 4 o'clock. The DRS 125s at 20 past 4 and 20 to 5 is the DRS 100s. What a grand final that could be as well. Here we go then. Will the DRS 125s get away at the first time of asking? They will do, and it's the 317 of Amato who gets the jump. It really looked like Tom Snape really struggled to get up and running there, struggled to get any sort of momentum. He was shuffling and jumping out of the seat, and it allowed for the 317 of Anthony Amato to nice little comfortable advantage at the start of this race. We've got a move for third place as well as they all stream through and look to all get round this first lap of the Whilton Mill circuit. Seeing JJ McGing there at the back of the field with the 324 of Roberto Menoni. Here are the leaders then. So it's head down for Tom Snape. He needs to try and avoid Anthony Amato getting away here at the front of this field. Through the pit bend and down start finish. It's already a gap of half a second between Amato and Snape. Tommy Welsh is third. Cody Eustace is up to fourth. It was Tommy Welsh who made that move into the right-hander on the way down the hill at Ashby, which is just about where our leaders are heading now, into the right-hander, and then they'll swing over to the right-hand side of the circuit and just try and get the best line into Chapman's and then down the back straight. So the gap was half a second between Amato and Snape. Welsh is about another half a second behind him, but he's under some pressure from Cody Eustace. Round 2 start finish warning for Firas Bilbezi as well. Now, Bilbezi came through in 7th place last time round. He's still in 7th place. The only mover on the last lap was Oliver Owen, who has picked up a few more championship points by demoting Ben Gartside from 5th to 6th. So Amato, Snape, Welsh, Eustace and Owen, they are the top 5. The lead gap is 8/10, so a new fastest lap of the race from Amato. So absolutely showing no signs here that Tom Snape can get on terms with Anthony Amato, because he's pulling away at a rate of around about 2 or 3 tenths a lap at the moment. Let's see what they do this time round. It's only the 3rd lap of the race so far, and we've got some 6 minutes plus that one final lap. Oh, new fastest lap from Snape. So maybe just Tom Snape was just getting into the swing of things, just getting into a rhythm and a routine, because Snape has responded and responded well with a new fastest lap of 46.478 is 0.3 of a second quicker. So the 0.3 that Amato took on the previous lap, Snape has just taken straight back again the lap after. So he has got the pace. Can he close in terms of track position? It is generally always easier to chase than it is to lead. And the gap was 0.6 of a second last time round. What is it now as they come round Paddock Corner and come underneath us to cross the line to start a new lap? 0.6 it was, it's now 0.6. So even though Tom Snape has done another fastest lap of the race so far, a 46.32, Anthony Amato pretty much matched him, a 46.364. So there's only a couple of hundredths of a second between them in terms of pace, and that will keep the gap to a fairly consistent level of 0.6 of a second, although this time for me, as they come through Parkers, I would say Snape is a little touch closer this time. They go through the left-hander, stretch the legs through the back straight. There's a huge battle going on for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. At the back of that train is Mark Lawrence. At the front of it is Tommy Welsh, and in the middle is Cody Eustace, Oliver Owen and Ben Gartside and Firas Bilbezi. Gap between the front two is, it's up. So I thought that Snape had maybe taken another 1/10 of a second. By the time they got back round to the start-finish line, Anthony Amato had done a fastest lap of the race so far, a 46.274. And for Snape, it was only a 46.279. A pump for Amato. Problem for Anthony Amato. He pulls off onto the grass. What has happened there? Thrown a chain? Could have thrown a chain. He's looking down, whatever it is, it's terminal, and he knows it because his reaction tells us that it was a terminal problem for Anthony Amato. The benefactor of that, of course, is Tom Snape, who crosses the line as the new race leader with 6 laps complete. And for Anthony Amato, well, everybody's been promoted up at least one place, except for Carl Watt, who's been promoted 2 places into 8th, and Jack Rigg, who's jumped up 2 into 9th as well. So Snape, Welsh, Eustace, Owen and Gartside, and what that has also allowed for is Tom Snape not just to take the lead, but to take the lead by a good distance as well. I'm just looking down to Anthony Amato at the moment. It looks like he's trying to do some running repairs onto that. Well, he was doing some running repairs. Looks like he's given up now. And he should be throwing a chain. Top end of the circuit. Did he clip a curb? That might have been what did it. Might just have clipped the curb, might have thrown the chain off. He certainly lost all his drive as he came out of Christmas and headed down the hill towards the Ashby corner. And he just exited stage left, and that was his race ran. Oliver Owen up into 3rd then. So the battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th just spread out a little bit. Tommy Welsh up into 2nd. Oliver Owen is 3rd. Eustace is 4th. Then Gartside and Bill Basie are fairly close together. And then Mark Lawrence is just tagged onto the back of this group as well. Snape crosses the line once more. Snape, Welsh, Owen, Eustace, Gartside, Bill Basie, Lawrence, Carl Watt 8th, Jack Rigg 9th, Kurt Fordry is 10th, and then JJ McGing, Roberto Memoni, and the only non-runner was the previous race leader, Anthony Amato, who's just recovered that kart into Parc Ferme. There's a yellow flag at post 8 now because of that, so if we can get that cleared fairly quickly, that yellow flag can be removed. So around the final corner comes Snape. Here's the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Welsh, Owen and Eustace. And then a small gap back now to Gartside and Bill Basie and Lawrence. So 2 groups of 3 now, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. And then a longer gap back to Carl Watt, who's in a more of a distant 8th place. Gap between the front 2 is 3 seconds, although Tom Snape has just compounded that because he's just put another fastest lap of the race in, a 46.267 for Tom Snape. He's lapping 4 tenths quicker than the rest of the field, so it looks like only Snape and Amato have got the pace to really challenge each other at the front of this field. We've got just a few seconds remaining before we start the final lap. So next time round it will be Tom Snape's last lap. He's heading down into Ashby now. This is the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and Oliver Owen is as close as he has been for the entire race here. He's also got Cody Eustace fairly closely tucked up in behind him as well. They're both trying to find a way past Tommy Welsh. So Welsh now into the left-hander, comes along the back straight. He's going to have 1 lap to hold off these 3. Behind them is Gartside, Bill Basie and Lawrence. 3 of them absolutely together as well. And then Carl Watt and Jack Rigg having their own little battle for 9th and 10th. So final lap then for our race leader. Another fastest lap, 46 flat for Tom Snape. Here comes a move then for 2nd and 3rd. He's not going to make that stick. It was only a half move from Oliver Owen. He certainly wasn't close enough or committed enough to make it stick into Christmas, and now he's probably lost all his momentum. Here we go then. Just need to get a little later on the brakes, a little bit braver. He needed to be a little bit braver, did Oliver Owen, to slip up the inside and just force that move, a little bit more aggressive, and now he's not going to have the opportunity as they come into the boot for the final time. They turn right and they cross the line. The leader's already been there. He's now the winner is Tom Snape. 2nd is Tommy Walsh. 3rd is Oliver Owen. 4th is Cody Eustace. Bill Basie just comes home in 5th place ahead of Gartside, and Lawrence. Was a change between Carl Watt and Jack Rigg on the last lap as well. And that is our heat complete. So we're into the pre-finals, and those pre-finals start in around 40 minutes time. The first of those is the DRS Group A, then Group B, the pre-final for the 62s and the 125s, and then we're into all of the grand finals. We'll be back with you around about 2:15 this afternoon. Please join us then. So down on the grid with the DRS125s, our senior class. A couple of drivers I want to speak to in this field if I can. I've got to find them first. So let's go and find who do we want to speak to. So I'm really keen to speak to Firaz Bilbit. He's over here. And I'm keen to ask about qualifying today. Firaz, if I can just steal a moment of your time. Tell me about qualifying, because I watched qualifying this morning and thought it worked for different people in different ways, in different classes, not going out at the same time as everyone else and trying to... I mean, what was the rationale? Is it a tyre saving thing? Is it? I mean, you did your fastest lap on your second lap. You could have packed it up after that, could you?
Yeah, I mean, after 4 laps, I mean, me personally, I that's it. I think that's the best you can get out of the tyre. There's not a lot of degradation here, but you might as well save the tyre for the final. It's 12 laps. It's a long race.
Yeah, and I suppose that is the benefit of it. Even if you haven't quite got where you wanted to be in terms of time, I suppose you do know that come 3, 4, 5 laps from the end of the grand final, you might have just that little bit more than everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I'll push until the very last lap. So from my perspective, if other drivers are getting tired, then all the better.
I'll leave you to go and see the clerk of the course, because he looks like he wants everybody down there at the moment. So the drivers are just having a minute with the clerk of the course to discuss something. We'll be quiet for a second and let them have a little chat.
They didn't disqualify him because everybody saw it wasn't his fault.
Okay. Yeah, I will. So the drivers were, I think, just warned of contact. I think they just had a little pre-briefing from the clerk of the course. The other driver I want to go and see if I can find him is the young man at the back here. So we're going to go and have a quick chat with Anthony Amato. Anthony, you are here through a different set of circumstances to everyone else. How did you end up here?
It was quite an interesting scenario. Chain came off, driving a bit too fast, I reckon.
And what was it? Did you clip a curb? Did you go over a bit of a rumble strip? Do you know why it happened?
I would assume it's because I ran a curb a bit too hard, and the chain just came off from there.
And there's no worse feeling, is it, when you just lose all your drive and you're effectively just a passenger there. Tell us how you came to be here today, because obviously unbelievable pace this morning in qualifying, and bear in mind, you haven't been in the series at Clay Pigeon and you're new to the series. How did you end up coming to us this weekend?
Well, it's quite a long story, to be honest, but I came here because I won the Club 100 Championship, so they let me come and have a go in the Ricciardo Series, and I did a bit of racing when I was younger as well.
And did you expect to have that sort of pace that you had this morning?
No comment.
Okay, so this will be interesting, because obviously he's on the ball. Sorry, I'm attacking one of the mechanics here. He'll be on the back of the grid here, and he has probably the most pace of all the drivers so far. So keep an eye on the 317. It promises to be an absolutely cracking DRS125 pre-final, and we'll be back with it in a few moments' time. So the last of the pre-finals is the 15-20 and bang on schedule as well. DRS125 pre-final. So our senior drivers. And a really interesting mix here, a really interesting proposition with the fastest man in qualifying effectively starting from the back of the field due to a lost chain in the first heat. So certainly expect for Anthony Amato, the Club 100 winner, here on a guest drive effectively. Expect him to come through the field. Now the problem he's going to have is by the time he gets there, Tom Snape or some of the drivers at the front of this field, Tommy Welsh or Oliver Owen, they could be well down the road. So even though there's only 13 of these karts out there, he's going to need an unbelievable start to get himself into range here. He's already giving up 10-15 kart lengths before he crosses the start-finish line to start the race. So tough ask, not impossible, but a tough ask nonetheless. I wonder what's going through the mind of the championship leader Oliver Owen, who's got a 9-point championship lead over Mark Lawrence and Jack Rigg. How strong will Firas Bilbezi come on in the grand final with a little bit fresher tyre behind him? So Snape on the inside of the front row with Welsh alongside him. They come to the lights change to green, and that's probably the best start we've had all day, I would have thought, in terms of looking like it should do. And Tom Snape has got the best of it as he heads up the hill for the first time. Behind him is Welsh. Behind them looks like Oliver Owen in third place. Oh, and there's contact further back. It involves Mark Lawrence, number 7. Who's the other driver involved? It's the 183. It's the 183 of Ben Gartside. So Gartside and Lawrence, 6th and 7th at the time. Both right at the back of this field. Both had some contact into Christmas. And they find themselves at the back of the field. Here is the battle for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. And look at who has just moved up, or trying to move up, into 5th place. It's no other than Anthony Amato, who's made a wonderful start. He made 8 places on the first lap. So we said he had to do something unbelievable. I think he probably has done something unbelievable. He's now attacking again. Will he go through? He will go through. Now then, just keep an eye on Anthony Amato. The other driver who's had an unbelievable start is JJ McGing. He's up into 4th place. He made 7 places on the first lap. He's just lost that 4th place to Amato, but nonetheless a super start from him. Now the question is, this gap's pretty big already between Tom Snape in 1st and Amato in 4th. That's the gap we probably need to see and monitor, because we know Amato's got an absolute bucket full of pace. A little bit wide from Tommy Welsh as he went through to start finish. Probably right on the edge of what's permitted from a track limits perspective, as this battle continues for 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th, and McGing is holding them off as best he can. He's holding off the likes of Oliver Owen and Jack Rigg and Carl Watt and Firas Bilbezi, and then Roberto Minoni is just behind that group as well. Kurt Fordry is 11th, and then it's Mark Lawrence and Ben Gartside who were both involved in that first corner incident. Fastest man on the circuit is now Cody Eustace, 47 flat for him last time round. So this set of lap times will be really interesting to us. So Snape goes through on a 46.6, 47.7 and 9, 46.5 for Amato. So Eustace and Welsh were busy squabbling over 2nd place at the time. So discount their lap times. Amato has now done the fastest lap of the race so far. And JJ McGing is still continuing to hold off this gaggle of karts behind him. So Snape, Eustace, Welsh, Amato, and then what a battle in behind. Jack Rigg, JJ McGing, Oliver Owen, Carl Watt, Bilbezi, Fordry and Manoni all absolutely together. Now we've got a battle going on for 12th and 13th between Lawrence and Garside right at the back of this field. Here they go again, this group, with Owen trying to get past McGing, and he's doing stellar defensive work, is JJ McGing, isn't he, just to keep them all behind. He worked so hard on the opening lap. Why would he not try and protect some of those places? Into the left-hander at Chapman's once more, and then along the back straight. He might struggle to keep him behind here. Looks to the inside as they go into the boot. They flick right and right again over start-finish line. And to complete the lap, a little bit ragged from McGing, and they came across the back marker as well, didn't they? Or did they come across somebody who had a problem there? Lost power, yeah, it looked like somebody lost power, didn't it? Where have they stopped on the... There we go, number 6 is Jack Rigg. So Rigg out of 4th place, he's not happy at all. Shows his frustration. Looks like he's got his power back though, doesn't he? Looks okay now, so not quite sure what happened there. But it seems to be... Oh, there's contact, there is contact there between McGing and Owen, I think, and they've all Constantina back up again. Super battle between these DRS125 drivers, giving us a real spectacle here. And Amato is past Tommy Welsh as well, up into 3rd. So let's just have a quick look at this battle now between... So Snape is out front, no danger to him at the moment. He's got a 3.2 second lead, unless something happens mechanical or a major driver error from Tom Snape. He's going to be okay. Cody Eustace under some pressure though, and I'd love to see a front row of Anthony Amato and Tom Snape in the final. Here is the move between McGing and the DRS of Firaz Bilbezi. I don't think any of them came out of that particularly well. So Cody Eustace is losing about half a second a lap to Anthony Amato at the moment. So Amato is going to be in range probably in the next minute or so as they head down the hill and into the lower aspect of the circuit. I'm just watching the two of them as they come through Parker's and into Chapman's. Snape it is who leads then. He's got the short straight between Parker and Chapman's between himself and Cody Eustace. Cody Eustace is under all kinds of pressure now from Anthony Amato for second place. And Amato's down the inside and he's made it stick, has he? There's a little bit of contact between him and Cody Eustace. But Anthony Amato, just off camera to you at the moment, Anthony Amato is through into second place here. Now, the only thing we're interested in now is the gap between Snape and Amato. If Amato really turned the screw, penalty for 320 JJ McGing. So some of that overtaking has obviously, some of that defensive work has probably been a little bit overzealous. A warning for 314 Cody Eustace as well. He tagged the back of Anthony Amato last time round. So Snape, Amato, Welsh, Cody Eustace, who actually dropped behind Welsh because of that contact with Anthony Amato. So what did Amato take out of Tom Snape last time? A 10th of a second between the two of them. 3/10 further back to Tommy Welsh and then Cody Eustace. Oliver Owen. Kurt Ford has driven superbly, hasn't he? Up to 6th place. Carl Watt as well, making places up into 7th. Bill Basie is 8th. McGing is 9th now. Mark Lawrence and Ben Gartside are slowly picking their way back through the traffic. We've got a yellow flag over start finish as well. So something down in turn 1, or someone down in turn 1. So the front two then have completed another lap. They'll actually be on their last lap next time round. So lap and a half to go as you look at Bill Basie just on the back of Carl Watt. He's the driver that we thought would have the best tyres, the best chance of tyres towards the end of this race, as looks like the number 6 of Jack Rigg And there's the 183 of Ben Gartside trying to find a way past JJ McGing. He's managed to make it stick on the right-hander. And we're on the final lap now for our race leader. So Tom Snape, so he did a 46.3 last time. Amato did a 46.4. Nothing between these two. Their fastest laps are separated by 700ths of a second. So if we get these two on the front row for the final, it could be a very, very entertaining race between the two of them. Snape, Amato, Welsh, Eustace and Owen. That's your top five. Remember, Oliver Owen is the championship leader, but he might be relinquishing that to Tom Snape at the moment if he can pick up another race win here, which it looks like he's going to do as he comes through the final corner for the final time. And Tom Snape wins the pre-final for the DRS125s. Anthony Amato from the back of the grid all the way through to second place. It was Tommy Welsh in third, Cody Eustace in fourth. I think Oliver Owen is just about to come through into fifth. Indeed he has. So that's your top five for the DRS125s, and that's all your pre-finals complete. We'll be back in a few moments' time with our one and only B final, which is the 9 minutes time, the 20-4 DRS100 B final, and it's 3 grand finals starting off at 4 o'clock. I'll see you then. The DRS125s for our penultimate race of the day. We've got the DRS100 grand final to come following this race. We're going to jump onto the front row where we've got probably a really well set up grand final here. We'll nip over and speak to the poleman in Tom Snape first. He didn't have the weekend that he would have wanted at Clay Pigeon, that's for sure, but the best remedy for that is obviously to get yourself on the front row with a couple of wins as well. We were just saying, Tom, that Clay Pigeon was probably one to forget for you, but you've made up for it today.
Yeah, definitely. Clay was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. So, yeah, doing a lot better this round.
And this is quite well set up, isn't it? There's some pace behind you, you'll know about that. And I'm sure we'll be trying to follow you through on the start to try and get into second and put some pressure on. How do you play this? Is it a case of try and let them scrap behind you and you disappear in the distance?
Yeah, I think so. Just head down and go, really.
And talk to us about the championship. Probably a little bit of a very open championship based on the fact that we got some results at Clay that probably people didn't expect. How do you perceive, I know we're only 2 rounds in, but how do you perceive your chances going forward from here?
It's hard to tell at this stage, really, but hopefully I'm clawing quite a few points back this round. So, yeah, we'll have to take a look at it and see where I am, really.
Absolutely, we wish you all the best for the final. We'll just go on to the other side of the front row as well and speak to Tommy Welsh, who's on the outside of the front row. Tommy must be reasonably pleased to be on the front row. That's a good start. How do you? What's your tactics, your strategy for that first corner? Oh, we're gonna leave you to it because the DRS 125s are on schedule and ready to go. so we didn't get a chance to speak to the man alongside Tom Snape on the dummy grid. As we've often said, the ability to keep the schedule is one of the things that make this one of the most well-organised championships in the country, and that is exactly what he will wanted to have done though, Tommy Welsh. I'm sure if we'd have got to speak to him, he would have said, I want to get the jump in the first corner, I want to keep Tom Snape behind me, I want to try and lead the race into the first couple of corners. That's exactly what he's done, and he's put Tom Snape on the back foot. Not only put him on the back foot, he's put him into range of Anthony Amato, who we know will always contact further down the field as well. We've got one off through the right-hander at Ashby. The rest of them stream through, all very, very wild from Amato. He got all kinds of crossed up. He might just come under a little bit of pressure here from the fourth place driver of Firas Bilbezi. Now just watch Bilbezi, we spoke to him earlier on, he knows that there was a little bit of contact further back, just sort of fell over each other, didn't they? I'm not sure there's much blame to be had from any of that. The one who didn't lose out was Kurt Fordry. So here are the leaders then. It's still Tommy Welsh, just backing up a little bit, although down the inside, ooh, he had a little look, didn't he, did Snape? He's just backing them up here, and down the inside goes Amato, and he has made it stick into second place. Snape might lose another place, he does lose another place, he might lose another place too. I think it's to Ben Gartside in fifth. There's contact, and the second place driver, Anthony Amato, has spun on the way into the right-hander at the boot. I'd love to see it again. I'm not sure if he just got a little bit hot, did he? Oh, he's just got a little bit hot. He's tried to make a half move. He's almost been dictated to by the speed of Tommy Welsh, who had slowed slightly mid-corner, but there's no blame to Tommy Welsh. It was just one of those where he just fell over him as they went into the corner. They were in such close proximity, and that has put paid to what would have been a real fairy tale story for Anthony Amato, who has been, he's been very good entertainment, hasn't he? He's been very good value in terms of his speed, but as yet they haven't managed to find a way through. Now then, as all that's been happening, it's played right into the hands of Tommy Welsh, who still leads this race. Cody Eustace has now jumped up into second place. Tom Snape is third. Firas Bilbezi is fourth. This could be absolutely anybody's, this grand final for the DRS125s. So Welsh it is who leads, but the news that's coming through is that he will receive a penalty for a jump start. So it is anybody's, but Tommy Welsh is probably not going to be the one who's going to receive a penalty for a jump start. He did get an excellent start. He was ahead. He was certainly ahead of Tom Snape as they went over the line. He got the jump, if you like, and he's being penalised by the officials for that jump start. He won't know that yet as they cross the line, and now it's Cody Eustace in second, Tom Snape is third. Now they won't know either that there's a penalty in play for Tommy Welsh, so they'll still be trying to find a way through as Snape goes to the inside. That's a little bit naughty from Cody Eustace, just to try and shut the door in the braking zone. But they've both managed to get through, and they drop down the hill. Now Welsh will be scrambling to keep this lead. He'll be desperate to make that DRS car as wide as he possibly can. Eustace will be the aggressor. He'll be the one that wants to try and create an angle, create an opening or an opportunity, and there's a technical defect on 320 of JJ McGing. He's had a busy day, hasn't he, JJ McGing? Let me just try and find out what that is as he comes past us here. Here are the leaders, and Eustace goes to the inside. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. I'm just going to look back for McGing. There he is. Bumper? Chain guard. Okay, so JJ McGing's got a missing or a loose or a broken chain guard, and that will be him in for a technical infringement. Look at them all backing up here. There are 7 karts that are absolutely in. There's some contact a little bit further back. We'll come back to that in a minute. It includes Anthony Amato, who's had a very traumatic day by the looks of things. But there are 7 karts in this battle, all being held up by Tommy Welsh here. We understand that Welsh will receive a penalty at the end of the race, but he's still holding on for dear life here. 7 minutes to go. We're still not even at half distance. It feels like we've had 3 or 4 races for the DRS125s here. Will he have a look down the inside? This would be perfect for Tom Snape. But again, when it matters, when you need to have the pace in the right places on the racetrack, it looks like Tommy Welsh has just about managed it. Oh, he got very, very sideways, did Welsh, as he went into the right-hander. He hasn't got a great run. He's under some pressure now as he goes to the inside, does Snape. Doesn't manage to make it stick this time. But yeah, Welsh got very hot into the right-hander at Ashby. And now Snape goes to the inside, won't make it stick again, and now gets all kinds of tangled up to Snape. He's going to come under pressure now from Cody Eustace once more. Look at them, we're just queuing up behind, all wanting to take a shot at this race lead, and that includes Oliver Owen, Ben Gartside, Firas Bilbezi, and Mark Lawrence is there as well. Wow, what a first half. Oh, there's the move. There's the move. It has happened at the top end of the circuit, and Tom Snape has got past Welsh. Now then, they'll all be very keen to get past Welsh very quickly, because what they'll realise is that Snape will disappear in the distance if they let him. Snape then finally got it done on the way into Christmas. There is the move, nicely done as well from Tom Snape. He talked about getting himself back into the championship hunt, even though it's just the second round, keeping the pressure on, getting some points back. And he now leads this race. Snape, Welsh, Eustace, Owen, Gartside, Bilbezi, Lawrence, Rigg, and then Anthony Amato is now 9th. Roberto Moroni is in 10th place. Well, the top 9 covered by absolutely no distance at all. Tell you what I would say, just have a quick look at where Amato is. He's actually only on the back of this group of gaggle of karts that are all fighting for the lead. I'm not saying that he's going to get anywhere near the front in the remaining 5 minutes or so, but he's got loads of pace, hasn't he? Got loads of pace, and he's closing in on a few. If somebody could get on terms with Snape and just slow him up a little bit, he could just drag him back into this race as well. It's been an absolute stunner, this race, with 5 minutes to go here. Snape, Welsh, Eustace, Owen, Gartside, Bilbezi and Lawrence. Tommy Welsh is doing a really good job at backing everybody away from Snape. Somebody has got to get him out the way quickly, because you are watching your chance to win the race disappear, because Welsh has got that very, very wide DRS racing kart, and Eustace is not being able to find a way. If I was Oliver Owen now, I'll just dispatch of Eustace. I'd be going past him and saying, right, if you can't get past Welsh, let me have a go. Let me try and do it. So if I was Owen, I'd be forcing this now. I'd be forcing my way past Cody Eustace, taking a risk, because if he doesn't, somebody will. And that's exactly what's just happened, because Gartside has said, you know what, Oliver Owen, if you're not willing to do this, I'll do it. And he's just forced a way past Oliver Owen. It's very, very good work from Ben Gartside. Now he'll set about Welsh and Eustace, and he'll try and find a way past them. Oh, there's contact at the top of the circuit. There's contact between Gartside and I think Oliver Owen. Bear in mind, that's your championship leader. He's got a bumper failure as well. Rear bumper failure, Oliver Owen. Here's the contact. Oh, he did force it, didn't he? He's over-forced it, Oliver Owen. Wasn't quite down the inside. Probably as more of a reactive measure to Ben Gartside's move on him a lap or so earlier. But it hasn't done him any good, and I think that Owen will have a rear bumper defect. I'll see when he comes past now. But I am pretty sure he's got a trailing rear bumper. I don't actually know where he is at the moment. I can't see. I haven't seen him come through this time. It might well be a retirement, Oliver Owen, because he hasn't crossed the line to complete this lap. So no change at the front. Snape, who has now a 2.7 second advantage. So the way it's all worked out in the end, even though he was bundled down to 5th or 6th earlier on in the race, he's worked his way right back into contention, right back into the box seat, and right back into the lead of this race with a healthy advantage as well. Snape, Eustace, Welsh, Bilbezi, he may come on strong in the closing stages as well. Lawrence, Amato, Anthony Amato, who has spun in this race, has got up to second, spun, dropped back to the back, now all of a sudden he's back up to sixth again. If you could smooth some of the edges off with him, he would be a little superstar, wouldn't he? Round the right-hander then at Chapman's comes second, third and fourth. Snape is cruising around at the front on his own. Eustace and Welsh. Tommy Welsh would be pleased, I would imagine, with the podium if he can get there. You'd see that as a good result. Shown good pace this weekend. Decent racecraft as well. He's got Firas Bilbezi behind him as well, and Amato's up to fifth. If Anthony Amato could get on the podium here, that would be an incredible, it'd probably be my drive of the day, if I'm honest. And even though he put himself in the position, really, by getting a little bit too close to Tommy Welsh, he's still driven a wonderful recovery drive up into currently fifth place. Firas Bilbezi is his next target. As they head down to complete another lap. So a minute to go. So it'll be 3 laps from here. Second place, Cody Eustace. Third place, Tommy Welsh. Then Bilbezi, then Anthony Amato. That's the battle that we want to see, and this is the one. So Amato then, can he get past Bilbezi? No, Bilbezi covers off the inside. Amato will get right under the rear bumper as they head down into Asprey. Will he have a little dive down the inside? He won't. He considers his options and then sticks in behind. They all dive over the track limits. And then through Chapman's once more. Down the back straight. Where does Amado have a look? And Bilbezi's very experienced, isn't he? He knows how to make that very wide, but what a move that is. Just sold him a little bit of a dummy as they went in and caught him on the hop as they went through the last part of the boot. Super driving from Anthony Amato. There you go. I'm just wondering if he's lost that place again though as they go through. No, I don't think he has. He's held on to fourth place. Right, he's got a lap and a half then to get one of these two. He's probably got a lap and a half to get the hardest man to get on the circuit, which is Tommy Welsh, who is very good at making his car very wide indeed. And in fact, Tommy Welsh is actually not far off Cody Eustace in front of him either. Ben Gartside under investigation. He's been in the wars this weekend as well, hasn't he? Tom Snape still out front, 46.3 last time round, personal best for him. Amato, fastest lap of the race so far, 46.1. Right then, this will be a really interesting last lap. Keep your eyes on the battle for third and fourth, a last podium place between Tommy Welsh and Anthony Amato as they go around the right-hander and up the hill. I don't think he'll be close enough to get him to the top of the hill. Will he? No, I don't think he will. It's tough to get away through from here, although he has just shown us how he's got a lovely little move up his sleeve into the boot. But that move last time with these two resulted in Amato having a spin. He's going to have a couple of corners to get this done if he can get on the podium. And it'll be some achievement if he does. Here they are, third and fourth as they go down the inside at Chapman's. No. Last corner then. Last corner, last lap if you fancy it, Anthony. Here they come. I don't think he's close enough. They go through the left hand there. Will he dive down the inside? He has dived down the inside. Can he make it stick? He has made it stick. What a super move. It's a carbon copy of the move that he put on. We are tapping the table here because that is top class. Tom Snape wins the race. Cody Eustace is second. Anthony Amato, unbelievably, with probably the drive of the day, into third place. Tommy Welsh, what a shame. He's worked so hard to get himself onto the podium. Didn't quite manage it. Fourth place for him. Firas Bilbezi in fifth. Mark Lawrence in sixth. And Ben Gartside in seventh. Welcome to the trophy presentation for round 2 of the Daniel Ricciardo Series here at Whilton Mill. We will start after an excellent day's racing with the B final for the DRS 100s. The B final winner today was number 146, Aaron Mensah. On to our DRS 125s, and our Grand Master for round 2 is the DRS player Firas Bilbezi. And today's DRS 125 top 3 in 3rd place, and what an eventful day he's had as well, but a super drive to come back on the recovery onto the podium for the 317 of Anthony Amato. Second place, the number 314 of Cody Eustace. And today's winner, after one of the most eventful DRS 125 finals I think I can remember having here at the Daniel Ricciardo Series. Today's winner, number 4, Tom Snape. Ladies and gentlemen, the DRS 125 top 3. And finally, for the DRS 125s, our rookie of the day goes to number 324, Roberto Menoni. On to the DRS 100s then, our junior class, and today's top rookie in 14th place was number 114, Archie Potter. And another outstanding DRS 100 final, which had just about everything, and what a shame it was cut short and we were starved of the 2 minutes and 11 seconds shootout at the end there. But nonetheless, a super race for everybody to watch. In 3rd place, number 8, Charlie Ratford. In 2nd place, another super drive from number 7, Bryn Calder. And it's a 2nd grand final win on the bounce for number 3, Maximilian Salarski. Put your hands together for the DRS 100 top 3. Our DRS 62 Academy top 3 in 3rd place, number 64, Cruz Dalton. In 2nd place, 8th overall for the DRA plate, Bailey Wolf. Not here.
Sorry?
Not here. And today's winner, 6th place overall for the 105, the Academy champion for round 2, is Ashton Redpath. Well done, boys. And finally, our DRS62 Super Grand Final top 3. In 3rd place, number 5, Nat Johnston. In 2nd place, number 3, Oscar Walsh. And today's winner just did enough at the key times and the key moments of the Grand Final. The DRS plate of Jack Robinson. Our DRS62 top 3, everybody. And that's it from us here at round 2 of the Daniel Ricciardo Series. We'll be back in a month's time when we travel to Wales, to Glanigors for round 3. We'll see you there.